All right. Welcome everybody to Logistic Tech Summit, day one's last session. We have with us today Prashant Soni. He's actually dialing in all the way, zooming in all the way from India. So thanks a lot for joining us, Prashant. Prashant is part of MagaLoop, one of the startups that disrupting the retail industry and streamlining retail delivery from largest manufacturers in the world to the mom and pop retailers in Berlin, in Germany, and the rest of the world, rest of the Europe. So with that introduction, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Prashant Soni from MagaLoop. Prashant, take it away.
Thank you so much, Kashyap, for the introduction. And thank you so much, Gaurav, for introduction. Now, the fact that I keep saying Kashyap's name speaks a lot about the love that I have for HyperTrack. But yeah, so it's been exactly 1 year that MagaLoop and HyperTrack have partnered together to digitize the business of independent retail in Europe. Talking just about MagaLoop, we started in 2018 with an aim to digitize 40,000 retailers and 4,000 wholesalers within the space, within the independent retail business of Germany. And the fact that makes this business so unique is that, in contrary to many other market spaces, this market still runs on cash. Okay, but at the risk of spilling out more secrets, I mean, let me walk you into what MagaLoop has actually done for this space and what it is doing on daily basis to revolutionize the space of independent retail. Okay, just a minute. So MagaLoop is building a digital marketplace in order to aggregate retailers on the demand side and wholesalers and FMCG on the supply side. And not only aggregation, but it is also integrating deep into the existing supply chain that exists between FMCG brands, wholesalers, and retailers. And because most of these players in B2C space have already experienced amazing customer experience in their regular day-to-day e-commerce, we aim to bring a similar kind of a customer experience in their B2B space also. And by all of these three means, we intend to add more reliability, predictability, and growth in so-called or so assumed dying offline independent retail. We believe that independent retail business is here to exist more, and it's in fact going to flourish. But before we go into detail of how exactly MagaLoop has reimagined this entire space of independent retail, we should look into the entire value chain between the brands and the retailer, as well as the prime challenges which exist at every juncture. So right from brands to retailer, there are four main actors in the ecosystems, including brand and retailer themselves. There is wholesaler and logistic. There are different logistics players. Now, among all of these four actors, especially the wholesalers and logistics players lack both in capacity as well as in efficiency. And because of which, the entire ordering experience is flawed. Nearly 30% of the orders are not serviced in full, on time, and without error. Also, because this entire value chain is completely analog, manual, the point of creation, that is, or point of manufacturing, which is the brand, is far insulated from the point of consumption, which is retailer. And because of which, brands cannot react in real time to market dynamics. Not only this, while the brands are protected from the working capital lag of the ecosystem, the retailer gets hit by the working capital lag the most. Now, just to help you appreciate how a retailer looks like in Germany, so they are called as spettis, and this is what an interior of a spetti look like. All the inventory is scattered across the real estate in spetti, where a consumer like you and I would walk into the space, pick up whatever we want, go to the cashier and check out. Now, from a point of this spetti owner, there are challenges at every instances. So on a day-to-day basis, this spetti owner would scan the inventory of the shop, make a manual list on a piece of paper, like a hand scribbled list, take a photo of this list and send it to the wholesaler. Wholesaler would somehow manage to decipher what is there on the list, tell the picker that, hey, pick up this order, prepare a pallet, stack up the pallet near the delivery station. The logistics partner would come in, pick up all these pallets, where the pallets are stacked by an intuitive notion of a trip, and then all these pallets are delivered to respective retailers. The logistics partners would take a hand signature on the invoice as a proof of delivery, along with hard cash from the retailers, and submit it as the proof of delivery and the collection all the way to the wholesaler. Now, just by the mere description of how this entire system works on daily basis, you could guess the challenges at every junction. And it is at the fulfillment, at the order fulfillment, order delivery space, where MagaLoop and HyperTrack have partnered together. But bringing back to how MagaLoop has been trying to reimagine this B2B e-commerce space and what role HyperTrack has played in it, it is important to elaborate on the kind of model that MagaLoop has adopted. And it's a hybrid model where MagaLoop plays a role of a first-party seller as well as a third-party seller. By being a first-party seller, it demonstrates what a modern wholesaler can do to the ecosystem, where MagaLoop partners with logistics players directly. Being a third-party seller, MagaLoop partners with the logistics players indirectly through the wholesalers. And in order to execute all of this workflow on day-to-day basis, there is a whole array of tech stack that goes into play. So MagaLoop has built order booking system for the trader in-house, the order fulfillment system for the wholesaler and for its own wholesaler space in-house. However, for delivery, for managing day-to-day deliveries, MagaLoop has partnered with HyperTrack to plug and play their ready-made delivery management system into this entire stack of products that MagaLoop has built. Now, in order to appreciate what this plug and play system does on day-to-day basis, let me walk you through how an order looks like, how a MagaLoop order looks like. So a retailer would use MagaLoop app to place an order. Wholesaler would stack all these orders from the traders in its MagaLoop cockpit. And once the orders are picked and ready to be dispatched, they are fed into the HyperTrack system automatically. From therein, from the list of all the orders, a trip is generated, which is optimized as per the route as well as on the load. And then an in-route visibility is provided to internal users of MagaLoop as well as to the retailers, which gives an exceptional customer experience. So all in all, I would map the highlight of the partnership, it lies in the fact that since this business is so much margin conscious, it is important to extract value at each and every juncture. For a wholesaler, 70% of the cost is in warehouse management as well as delivery management. So it is important to extract every single penny out. It is important to make sure that the vehicle is loaded in the most optimized manner. The route is optimized in the best way possible. And since this entire value chain is running on demand in real time, it is important that the retailer has the visibility of every stage of the order. So through this partnership, MagaLoop is able to provide that in en route visibility to the retailer, and thereby offering an exceptional customer experience. So this is where we have gone so far. And by next year, when MagaLoop enters into international waters, goes into larger territories, we are very hopeful that this partnership is going to scale along with business and would keep delivering on the three promises of load, route, and as well as customer experience. So uh, that is all from my side, people, and I'll be happy to take any questions that you might have.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Prashant. And it's wonderful to see that MagaLoop is helping the mom and pops retailer get their supplies with more reliability and better visibility all the way around. I had a question for you. As you looked at before and after for some of these retailers, can you describe what the process was before MagaLoop and HyperTrack, and what the process is after MagaLoop and HyperTrack, how their world has changed with respect to tracking of orders, visibility, and the rest of it? If you can describe that a little bit, that will be fantastic for our audience. And we have over 120 people live here, and then a bunch of people, in fact, more number of people I expect to stream online right after this, because in a few hours we have other geographies that have signed up opening up. So out of the 1,600 or so attendees, about 750 to 800 are in US time zone, but majority of them are actually in non-US time zones. So I think they will benefit from the answer to that question, if you don't mind.
No, absolutely. Super happy to answer that. So before this partnership, MagaLoop had only launched the third-party partnership model, okay, where a retailer would place an order on MagaLoop platform. That order would be routed to the wholesaler, and the only visibility that MagaLoop will be able to provide to the retailer would be till that the order is packaged and ready to be shipped. From there on, the next state of visibility would only come when the delivery partner had actually delivered the order. So right from the time that the order is picked from the shelf of the wholesaler, gathered on a pallet, from that point of dispatch to all the way being delivered, getting an in-transit visibility of the order had become possible because of HyperTrack. So that is from the from the trade or the retailer perspective. From the wholesaler perspective, a wholesaler used to see all the list of the orders in our system and intuitively make trips as per the prior or past experience. If there were new retailers in the list of the order, wholesaler would broadly do a ballpark calculation and then create a trip, that by assembling 5 orders or 8 orders in a trip. With MagaLoop's trip creation and trip assignment, this entire manual activity has been automated, and it is optimized to the best order possible. So that eyeballing or ballpark calculation or estimation that the wholesaler used to do before, or used to depend on the expertise of that one single person on the shop floor, that dependency has been pulled out of the equation, and now has been replaced with an omnipresent, all-time present automated system.
Wow. Okay. So from manual clunky, let's hope and pray that my order shows up before I open the shop, or when I open the shop and I'm greeting the customers. Now you have a reliable way of getting your supplies that you need: the soda, the beverages, the alcohol, the spirits, the rest of it. That's fantastic. Thank you for adding that
Also,
concept.
also just one more point to that. So also this is critical for the retailers because they are not at their shop all the time.
Right.
So
Right.
if they have the in-transit visibility, they can better plan to be at the shop to receive the order, because certain aspects of the order, such as cash handling and everything, they are still in practice. There's still a long way to digitize at the end-to-end value chain.
Excellent. There is a question here. MagaLoop is a tech company, and typically tech companies build their own tech on their own. Did you look at building it from scratch, the solution that you have in place, starting with, the map box or Google Maps and cloud and the rest of it? And instead of using logistics APIs, the other option is, of course, build it on your own. So question is, did you try to build it yourself? Did you look at it? Did you assess the effort? I would love to hear your perspective, because there are like, 1,500, 1,600 people registered here. There are 120 people live. Many of those are tech builders. I always used to say, when I used to code 20 years back, you give me a problem and I'm good enough coder that I can code my way through, right? So what do you
Yeah.
think about that, Prashant? A perspective
Yeah.
from your as an engineer.
So, I mean, we had this was exactly the conversation we had a year back in October 2021 between me and my CTO. And like any another CTO, he wanted to build it in-house. Okay. But after several rounds of conversation, we came to a conclusion that we had two scenarios. Scenario one was that, okay, we hire a new 4-member team, spend another 6 months to create this stack, and that too, it would not be the best version to create the best experience as well as the best optimization scenarios. And we would probably, the entire journey of building this stack would be at least an year. So as compared to investing resources from new developer resource as well as time, and comparing it with a scenario where there was a ready-made, on-the-shelf plug and play system which could help us instantly. So we went for the other option, and we reached out to HyperTrack, and we also tried reaching out to other players. But I think with HyperTrack, the kind of partnership just organically bloomed, and it took off from there. Also, one more important reason behind going with this option was that we had extreme shortage of time. Within 1 month, we were launching a new business where we were setting our own warehouse in different locations, where we were acting as first-party sellers, partnering with logistics players. Not all the logistics players had their visibility platforms. So HyperTrack came as a best solution that time to integrate our offline logistics players with the order state flow and provide visibility to the retailers.
That's fantastic, Prashant. And the fact that you are up midnight at India time, when you're visiting your family on your personal time, actually presenting here, speaks to the strength of the relationship you have with the engineering team here at HyperTrack. We do appreciate it, and we love you for it. Quick question about here. You've also been, working on influencing MagaLoop as a team, and you personally and Toby and your team have been influencing the roadmap here at HyperTrack. And if you want to talk about any specific things that you like in the current roadmap that you're excited about, or any current functionality that you are very excited about, if you want to share some of that. This was a personal question from me, not from the audience, but I always wanted to ask you that question. And what?
I think the engineering team between HyperTrack and MagaLoop, what we have been brainstorming on is working on the preliminary load optimization as well as how can we make it even better, because we believe that that would open another that would unlock another value for our business, specifically since it's a low margin business. So that's one avenue that we are extremely excited about. And also I think certain value adds on the dashboards which can give us few quick decision making uh, avenues. Those are also some areas of excitement between MagaLoop and HyperTrack.
Wonderful, Prashant. Thank you for joining us today. You're gonna love Ram's session tomorrow morning
Sure.
at 7 a.m. Pacific. It's 8:30 p.m. India time. But the
Okay.
reason why you love it is because there's something called order score that Ram will talk about, where there's a holistic scoring of order based on multiple metrics, based
Right.
on whether you were on time or not, whether you took the route that was expected or did you deviate from the route, and a host of other factors. So Ram Kakkad, the head of products, his keynote is tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. India time. If you can join us for that and provide feedback, that will be wonderful. It's MagaLoop has been a wonderful partner for us, shaping our roadmap, and I thank you for all the work that goes into shaping a tiny startup like ours roadmap. So thank you for that, and I wish everybody a great rest of the day, evening. Some of you, many of you, evening. Thank you for staying up so late with us. And thanks a lot, Prashant. And I'll see you
Thank you.
all tomorrow on November 16th
Perfect.
morning at 7 a.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. India time, 10 a.m. Eastern, US Eastern, for the keynote that opens up with the head of product, Ram Kakkad, opening up that keynote. Thank you, Prashant.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for the questions. Thank you
Bye.
for the time. Bye-bye.
Hey, that was wonderful. Thank you, Prashant. Bye.
Thanks, Gaurav. And sorry for the Gaurav Kashyap thing.
No, it's okay. It's not a problem at all. It's always delightful to have, and thank you for staying up so late. And tomorrow's session is going to be wonderful with Ram. Please join
I'm
him.
looking forward to it. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Perfect. Bye-bye. Bye.